My guest today was excommunicated from the Catholic Church by Pope John Paul II. Stay tuned to find out the whole story.
He's a Florida witch with something to say. Your friendly old sage with a teddy bear voice. The Alexian Show. The magic's on its way. He's all set to play, so let's not delay. Welcome to Alexian Show.
Hey, my computer tried to crash, but I'm back. That was a little scary. Joining me today is my co-host Galena, and I'm Alexi. And Galena, did the whole jingle play?
Yes, it did.
It did. Okay. Yep. I didn't even know if it had played because as soon as I hit the play button, my screen crashed.
Oh no.
Yeah. They have they're having some technical difficulties, so I turned some stuff off and I'm back. And thankfully I got back in quickly. Hey, we're coming live, guys. It's live, mistakes and all. Now Draken is my usual co-host, and she is not here today, and filling in for her is Miss Galena. Draken is probably watching from Maryland, visiting with her new grandbaby. Yeah, gotta be grandma. Sometimes you just gotta be grandma.
Gotta cuddle those babies.
That's right. So listen, I have a suggestion before we even get started. If you don't have time to watch the whole show, why not listen to it while you're driving to work or even in the shower? That's what I do. I listen to a lot of my YouTube shows and audiobooks when I'm in the shower, or when you're taking a walk, you can also listen to. It's just a way to fit our show into your day. So keep that in mind. And as usual, Galena, I have some analytics to share. As of last night, we gained another 1,300 plus new subscribers since last time, bringing the total now to over 18,400 subscribers.
Woo!
We are blessed. USA took the #1 spot for viewers, and Brazil, hola Brazil, came in second, and the UK, it came in third. So we love you guys, every last one of you. And we love you so much. We want to know where you're coming from. So let us know by typing into the YouTube comments where you're tuning in from. Galena's covering the comments, so she'll throw you a picture up on the screen and we can say howdy do. Also, if you are watching the show live right now, you're going to want to hit that live button that's right next to the volume to stay in real time and win prizes at the end of the show. You can't win unless you're live, so make sure you catch up to our live feed now. We're so thankful for our viewers. Without your continued support, the show would not be possible. So what have you been up to, Galena? What's new?
Oh my gosh. Do you ever get into those moments where you just kind of feel yuck? So that's how I got. And I was trying to find a way to bring positive energy back. And I decided, you know what? I think it's time to do some spring cleaning. So that's what I've been working on, throwing out the old and bringing in the new.
A little late for spring cleaning, but we'll call it summer cleaning.
There you go.
But good for you. Yeah, there's nothing like feng shuiing your place. As you know, because you visited here, my office was full of crap, and I cleaned it out, and it's so open and spacious, and you can feel the airflow, and it's wonderful now. I love it. What else have you been up to besides spring, summer cleaning?
Playing World of Warcraft.
Playing World of Warcraft, that's right. Admission, for those who follow me online, you know that I'm a moonkin. If you play World of Warcraft, I'm a moonkin. I'm an old school World of Warcrafter. Got involved with in the Burning Crusade, in fact, just before Lich King came out. But it's something that my husband and I do together. But Galena and I are guildy buddies in World of Warcraft. Yeah. After she found me online, and what do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, so I was online trying to find my path and where I needed to be, and I got into TikTok and I found him, and he talked about his muse. Well, I asked him, who or what is your muse? And his response was just amazing. He talked about all these things that I didn't understand, and it just brought up that curiosity. So I stayed with him, and he started a community, and I jumped in the community, and that's when we started talking and found out, we're both from Missouri and actually only lived like almost next door.
Your neighbors. We were, yeah.
So,
it was
yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Both of us are from the Ozarks. We grew up like 30 minutes from each other in the Ozarks. Went to Boston to college, moved to Florida, and she ended up in Alabama and found me in Alabama online. And, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But then the story continued. You joined TikTok. You became my friend. You joined the community. I got to know you better. We discovered we were from the same area. And then what happened?
Let's see.
Became a private student.
Oh, yeah, that.
It's so, mundane now. Forget that it even is happening, Yeah, she expressed, because she was a seeker, and she expressed interest in studying the craft. So she became a private student of mine. And she is now officially first degree initiate in the Alexandrian tradition.
Yeah, yay.
Yes, I'm very proud of her. She's hitting her terrible twos now. For those that are in the craft, you understand what I mean. Yes, terrible twos. But yeah, we're getting through it. Mm-hmm. So I've been, as you know, I'm always working. I'm always being creative and producing music and stuff. And that's what I've been really, really focusing on the most. And in fact, I have to reopen this because it apparently disappeared when my computer crashed. I finally got the Apple Love Spell Chant of the Month completed. It took me several months to complete it, and I got it out immediately to the subscribers. I had 9 women submit 8 different tracks each for a total of 72 vocal parts to edit, mix, and master together. And it came out amazingly. It is a spell. It includes a PDF on how to do the love spell. And it is more than just a love spell. It actually goes in and hooks into your hand fasting in the future and all sorts of stuff. So if you're interested, check that out on my website. In fact, I'll talk about the Chant of the Month Club real quick. You basically pay $1.29 a month, but if you're not a member, you're never going to hear these songs streamed ever, anywhere, because I am not releasing them. The only way to get them is to either buy them in bundles on my website or subscribe to my Chant of the Month Club for only $1.29 a month, and you get it delivered directly to you via email at a much cheaper rate. Yes. So it behooves you to join the actual Chant of the Month Club. And you can do that by going to alexianmusic.com/chant. And that's where the banner splashes on the screen, Galena.
Yeah.
She gets so wrapped up in the show, she forgets that
I don't see it.
It's under banners on the right side. Banners?
No, it's not there.
Is it not there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it got removed. Well, anyway, it's on the screen anyway. My bad. I don't know what's going on today. We got gremlins. Okay. So, for example, the Apple Love Spell will be available for purchase in Bundle 2, which will come out in a couple of months. But the club subscribers, they've already got it, and they got it at a discount. But that being said, I should mention that I'm doing a live listening party. I'm very excited about this. It's my first live listening party, and it's inside my free circle inside my community at the Cool Cats community. And we're going to be doing that listening party on Monday evening, July 14th. So just about a week or so away at 8 p.m. Eastern. So Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to actually play every Chant of the Month song that I have released to the subscribers so far in their entirety, like the whole song. And again, this is free. So just go to alexianmusic.com/paw and you can become a member of our community, just like Galena did, who ended up a private Wiccan student of mine. That's where the magic is happening. All right. So we have Edward Sott today as our guest. But if you want to be a guest on our show or know someone who would be perfect as a guest, tell them to visit alexianmusic.com/guest. There you go. She's co-host in training. I'm just teasing her. So how's the chat going?
It is... Let's see, we've got Mary Meat from Lady Silver Willow Sage.
Hello, Silver Willow Sage from Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And we got Natasha in the house from Temple
Hey,
Hill.
Natasha from Maryland. Yes.
And that's it.
That's it so far. Okay. So don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Word has it that each one of those actions actually gets you one step closer to winning the Arcane Treasures giveaway at the end of the show. And while you're at it, be a helper and share the show with your like-minded friends on your socials and help us spread the word. Remember, this is an interactive show, so type your questions into the YouTube comments and Galena will bring those up at the end of the show and we will ask Edward all of your questions. They can also be questions for me or even for Galena as well. So don't be shy. Ask your questions by typing them in to the YouTube comments. Okay, are we ready? Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's bring on our guest.
Welcome to the Pagan Elders of Wisdom.
He's a distinguished theologian, historian, and Alexandrian Wiccan high priest. As the founder and CEO of Today's Witch magazine and Covered Bridge Press, LLC, Edward is on a mission to educate and bring traditionalism back to the craft. A military veteran and world traveler, he's also the author of several captivating pagan and Wiccan books, which we will talk about. Let's welcome to our show, Edward Sott.
Hello, everybody.
Sir. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So how have you been as of late?
Oh, busy as a beaver in a bad thunderstorm.
I think that you are just as busy as I am. We are working our patooties off.
Well, let's put it this way, with another book on the way, another magazine on the way.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that.
A full database of libraries to finish. I don't stop.
Yep, that's it. You just got to keep going onward and upward. But before we jump into all of that, tell me, who is this young gentleman?
Oh, that was me when I was in the United States Army back in 1986.
Wow.
I didn't even graduate high school yet. I was still in my junior year when I went in.
You're such a baby.
Obviously still pissed off.
Oh my goodness. So you were in the Army. How long were you in for?
I was in for 3 years.
3 years. Any interesting stories from that time period?
Well, a couple, like accidentally setting off a gas capsule in a 3x5 room and giving myself a heavy dose of CS gas or tear gas.
Oi. Just accidentally.
It was accidentally, yes. And we had the middle of a blackout, and I was playing with a capsule. I got too close to the candle flame. And
wow.
Filled the room really quickly. I'm immune to tear gas.
And so, what did your superior officer say?
Well, he was in the same room with me, so it was both of us. We hit the 3-bell alarm, got everybody in their MOP, which is military occupational protection gear, right? And just evacuated the building. But him and I were laughing the whole time because we did something stupid. But
well, at least he was laughing about it.
Instead of tear gas, it was laughing gas to us.
So I also have this slide.
Oh my God.
That's a different uniform.
Yeah, that was when I first made my 3rd degree. And that was back in 1990.
Okay. So tell us about that time period. Tell us about how you got into the craft, your origins in the craft. And you had mentioned also that you worked in BBS systems. So talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, starting off before that, before the 90s, I've been in the craft since I was 8 years old. My stepmother was a Wiccan high priestess of the Alexandrian Wiccan tradition and also Church of All Worlds member. And she raised me up into craft practices, so I kind of grew up, made my commitment and determination from the time I was 8 that I was going to be in the craft. I'm in that picture. It's 1992. Oh God, I don't even know how old I was. Early 20s only that I know of. Early to mid 20s. That was when I made my 3rd degree. And I have an interesting story behind that too, because my high priest dumped the whole coven on my lap and whole ritual on my lap on the middle of a Samhain ritual with over 150 people involved. That's how I got my 3rd degree. I had to take care of the ritual and finish it.
We've been known to do that around here from time to time.
It's the best way to teach them.
Oh, yeah.
If they ain't ready by then, they're not ready yet.
Yeah, we're a training coven. My coven, Twisted Oak, is a training coven, and we not only have really involved classes with videos and meditations and book reports, and I mean, Galena's going through it all privately with me, and but we also, do the hands-on training within the coven, and part of that is a little push every once in a while.
So, and you asked me about the BBS days. Well, it was 1992. I formed the Guardians of Blue Flame Coven. That was after I just got my 3rd degree. I hived off, formed the Guardians of Blue Flame Covenstead, which is my own covenstead. We currently have 4 churches underneath us. And we also formed the Pagans' Rights Coalition, United Pagan Charities Cooperative.
which we will talk about in full in a little while.
That was formed by me and Lady Sappho, Dr. Jean-Ray Montandon. But
Wow.
in 1992, I was the founder of the AOL Pagan Tea House, Yahoo Group's Pagan Tea House, Delphi Pagan Tea House, the Globe Pagan Tea House. So I'm its founder. I used to run a BBS, and I used to be one of the original members of Witchbox and an original member of the Pagan Net, as well as FidoNet Pagan Net.
It was all about those Yahoo groups back in the day, man. I was a member of so many.
Well, we were a BBS operator. I was a BBS operator, and we used DOS BBSs at the time. This is before the internet was actually internet.
Yeah.
You know, we were the precursor for the internet. We did what the internet does now. And
That's right.
2020 hindsight, we'd be millionaires right now if we
Right. Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? I met my husband Victor actually on a bulletin board service. It was a gay bulletin board service here in Orlando, and I learned about it right after I moved here. And you dialed in through your phone line, and you get that ding 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 ding, you know, that whole thing, and it was all DOS, right? No pictures, just DOS.
Oh no, all DOS and all DOS, all text.
Yeah.
Your messages that you see on in your chats and everything, we did that long before the internet even started this. We were already emailing each other. We were text chatting each other, playing the first online games together.
Yeah. I was there, man. I get it. Yeah. These youngsters don't know what they got. We had to walk uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow to do our internets, you know. All right. So you mentioned Witchbox. Let's talk about Witchbox and Fritz and Ren for a moment.
What's that?
Let's talk about Witchbox and Fritz and Ren for a moment.
Talk about Witchbox, and give me 1 second here, and I gotta put a hearing aid in because my
sure
going. Yeah, I'm sorry, I could barely hear you because my ears.
It's okay.
Okay,
hey,
now
listen, I get it.
Witchbox and what?
Yeah, let's talk about Witchbox, Fritz, and Ren for a moment.
Okay. Well, I remember when they formed it. You know, the whole idea was to get the pagan community to start gathering together, find shops, find different covens and stuff like that. So I was one of the first ones in there because I put in my PRC in there, because I was also forming the Pagans' Rights Coalition at that time and trying to get that established.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted Ren and I said, you know, can I add this? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Amazing people. I actually met Fritz outside of pagandom. I actually was taking, I was in college in Boston, and I went around the corner from Berkeley to buy, I don't even remember, a mic cord or something. And this very nice gentleman, with long hair, helped me at the Wurlitzer store. And I knew his name was Fritz. And we got to know each other as musicians, but we never talked about paganism. We never talked about Wicca. Long story short, I graduated from Berkeley. I moved to Orlando. And then, Yahoo groups came, and like you said, and then Witchbox, the internet came, and then Witchbox came. And I got involved with Witchbox, of course, with my coven, Twisted Oak, which I had just founded in the early 90s down here. And started talking to the founders of Witchbox, Fritz and Ren. And it wasn't until we met at, I believe it was Heartland Gathering. And we walked up to each other to say hello because we had planned to see each other. We're like, oh, we finally get to meet. I'll see you there. You know, that type of thing.
Oh, we already met.
And we were like, what? I know you. You know, it was so, you know, weird because we already knew each other in the mundane world and had been talking to each other via email and on text on Witchbox, but had never seen each other's photos. And I freaked out, you know, and he freaked out. It was really funny. It was what we had a moment. But yeah, Fritz and Ren, amazing, amazing people. Of course, we lost Fritz. We love you, Fritz. We love you. Like doing this right now, you know. So yeah, good times. Listen, speaking of gatherings, what's the most humorous question that you've ever received, maybe at a gathering or even in your coven or something that is pertaining to magic and Wicca? What's the funniest question you've ever received?
Oh God. I gotta think on that one because you got me with that one because I received so many different questions from youngsters that don't know the craft from the hole in the ground. You know, I guess
Maybe something pertaining to the elements.
Oh well, one thing that I've seen, witnessed firsthand, was someone who had used the elements, who had dismissed the elements wrong. You need to dismiss the elements. You cannot just sit there and say, as the books, a lot of the books have it in there, stay if you will, go if you must. Wrong answer.
Not to the elements.
Not to the elements. Don't tell them to stay because they will. It happened in Arkansas. I was with Terry Riley in the Southern Delta Church of Wicca, as a matter of fact. And we had someone with the elements, and they turned around and said, stay if we'll go if you must, and the barn burned down. So they were in the fire section. We re-raised the temple, put him in the air, not thinking he was going to do the same thing. He did it in the air. Arkansas is the basically
tornado.
Boom, tornado. So
yeah, no. It's raw creative power, the elements, and when you invite them into your circle, you're doing it with intent and focus to cause something to happen, because when they come together, they make magic happen, right? They create things.
Well, actually,
don't let them out of the circle and say hang out. Yeah, you don't do that.
No, and on second aspect of it is understand is we say go in peace, go in power.
Yeah, we say going in peace.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, but you don't invite the elements into your house and let them bring in their suitcases.
Have you ever had anybody ask about, can I invoke an element?
Oh my God, invoking an element. I had that happen once. Someone asked me, how do you invoke an element? I said, you don't. You evoke them, not invoke them. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, if you want to be compressed by gravity, go ahead and invoke the earth.
I think it's a misunderstanding of what the terminology is. What does invoke mean?
If you want to invoke the air and suffocate, go ahead. Have fun with that. You want to invoke the fire and burst in spontaneous combustion? Yeah, feel free. You want to invoke the water and you're 90% water, so you drown in your own fluids? Yeah, you're more than welcome to try it.
Yeah, we had a friend, and every time she invited, she had an issue with, everybody has issues with different elements. Some are easy, some are okay, and at least one is usually, some energy they're not in tune with, and they need to work on that. Well, we had a young witch, and every time she invoked water, her pipes would break in her house and flood the house. and it happened more than once. So we stopped putting her in charge of water. We moved her ass to another quarter. But yeah, that's a true story. Yeah.
Evoke the elements. Evoke is external.
Yeah,
Means
evoke. Yeah.
External. Invoke, internal.
So I heard you participated working on the Patrick Stewart case with Selena Fox to get the
Yes.
on the
Yes.
memorial.
Yes.
What was your involvement with that?
Actually, I did. The Pagans' Rights Coalition assisted with that Patrick Stewart case. We were talking. I talked to Selena firsthand, and I went so far as contacting the Veterans Affairs Department and talking to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. And needless to say, after threatening him with a congressional injunction and having Senator Arnold Specter and Congressman Paul Kondrowski slap the documents on his desk in a fax, they got it done in 3 months.
There you go. You go.
Way to go us, because now the Pinnacle Marker, along with 7 others, are now part of the Arlington Cemetery and all cemeteries.
Yes. They're on military grave sites because of what you guys did. It's legal, basically, to do that.
Well,
but in the beginning, they were resisting it, yeah?
Well, it wasn't resistance so much as it was a simple case of them deciding that we don't have a head of organized head of our religion because we're an open religion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my answer to that default statement was, I know who the head of the Catholic Church is at the Pope. If I want to get a hold of him, I have to call the Vatican. I said, who's in charge of all 36 of the Christian denominations? Is it Jerry Falwell or Pat Robinson? So I know who to get a hold of. And who's in charge of the Islamic faith? Is it a new Ayatollah in Iran? Is it a Taliban leader? Is it because I need to know who to get a hold of there. And you have to tell me who's in charge of the atheist, because in fact I want words with that SOB. And I said, and furthermore, God's in charge of the Judaic. I can talk to him anytime I want.
There you go.
So I said that excuse is invalid.
Yeah, there you go. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Hey, everybody that's viewing, remember this is an interactive show. So remember to type your questions into the chat and we'll ask Edward those at the end of the interview. So going back to pagan festivals, what's the funny experience that you've ever had at a pagan festival?
Oh, it's back with, again, Terry Riley and Southern Delta Church of Wicca. We're doing a ritual, and this little girl, we're doing a Lunacell ritual, as a matter of fact. And this little girl, we're singing the chant, Herne Horned One. And this little girl, 7 years old, top of her voice, Herne Horny One.
Aww. Aww.
All the adults lost it.
That's very sweet. She didn't know what she was saying.
And she's like, did I do something wrong? We're like, no, sweetheart. The mouth of babes because the wisdom of the ancients.
There you go. Tell us about the time that you were at home. I heard that you locked yourself out because magic went awry. What is this about?
God. Never, ever put a sigil on your door, right? Without realizing that sigil has enough power and strength to even prevent you from entering a thing. I was so upset and irritated with my ex-girlfriend, right, and her son. And every time I turned around before that, everybody would be bringing their drama into my house. So I sigiled the front door to keep all negative energy out of my house. We went to Walmart. Her son's acting up. Me and her are fighting and arguing and everything else. And then next thing you know, I try to get in the house. And I can't get
going.
Yeah, exactly. And then someone says, yep, laughing out loud, she's done that herself. Can't get in because I'm irritated.
You're irritated. You're pissed off, and you couldn't get into your own home.
And the more I'm more irritated I'm getting, the more she's laughing because she's already good. And I'm locked out. And I'm like, would you remove the damn sigil from the door so I can get in the house?
Oh my goodness. That's funny. I haven't locked myself out of my home magically.
So now I put a box outside my door, actually, that says, drop your drama here.
Drop your drama. Drama drop. So what's this about you hitting an ambulance with your bicycle?
Oh yeah, I'm notorious for hitting things with bicycles. I ride my bike, and one time the funniest one was hitting the ambulance because it was so convenient. I smacked into the ambulance, and of course they step out of the ambulance and say, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is convenient though."
Oh my goodness. I had a very bad car wreck actually, and a dump truck pulled out in front of me, but I didn't have my seatbelt on. It was the first day of the seatbelt law in Missouri, and I got a ticket for not having my seatbelt on, even though the dump truck pulled out in front of me. Totaled my Trans Am that I had just bought with all the money I had done working on the farm, raising baby cattle, all sorts of stuff, and kissed the windshield. Got this scar. I don't know if you can see it above my eyebrow. That's what that's from. That was 1987 in Kansas City. And actually Overland Park, Kansas, to be specific. And the wreck happened right in front of the paramedics station because they were having a party and all the cops were there, all the paramedics were there, and the guy driving the dump truck apparently was going to the party and he was late and he pulled out in front of me and I hit him and totaled my Trans Am, but it was right there, so they came out and immediately started working on the wreck. Spoiled their party.
Well, the party was still convenient, right?
Yeah, very convenient. I can't believe you drove here. Now, did the ambulance hit you or did you hit the ambulance?
I hit it.
You hit the ambulance. Okay. Maybe we don't ride our bikes anymore in traffic.
Oh, it's not that I wasn't riding in traffic. I was not riding in traffic. I was riding down the sidewalk, and the ambulance was pulling out, and I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I smacked into it.
I gotcha. All right, let's get a little more serious now and dive into the Pagan Rights Coalition and United Pagan Charities Cooperative. That's a mouthful. Tell us about that.
1992. Lady Sappho, Dr. Jean-Ray Montandon, goddess bless her soul, she's not with us anymore, and I met on the BBS, and she decided to come into, she actually came over to my house, and we started talking about what we'd like to do for the pagan community. And she ran Licorice Unicorn Covenstead at that time. So her and I formed the idea and the concept of forming the Pagan Rights Coalition and United Pagan Charities Cooperative, a group designed to unite the pagan community and get them together. However, herding cats is what it's known as doing.
Preach it, brother.
And unfortunately, we were not as successful, but the PRC has been around and has done several bits of working since that, and I keep it alive in her memory, and I do keep it alive even today, working today with the PRC. And we do have our website, prcupcc.org, index1.htm. On that website, you will find, and Alexian can tell you this because he's visited it himself, right? You will find the Witchtanica Compendium. That is probably this 2.9 gigabytes of information on paganism that I've compiled from over 40 years.
It's a lot of data.
And it's free to everybody's use. Feel free to use it. I got doctors that use the herbal section. There's a herbal encyclopedia on there. That's 9,000 plus herbs
Wow.
with all their properties.
Wow.
And there's other things on there that stones. There's over 4,000 stones listed.
Amazing.
All the gods and goddesses are on there. There's numerous chants on there. I'd love to add your chants to the chants page, by the way, and we'll have to talk about that.
Yep, not gonna happen. The Chant of the Month Club is only for the subscribers. They will never be out anywhere else.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I appreciate. I am flattered. I appreciate that. Now, some of my songs might work that I actually release. Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. Songs
not the
that are, I'd like to be able to add them. Of course, you'll get the full copyright and everything else on them.
yeah. That is amazing. That is and when did you start typing all of that data in?
Oh God, 1994.
So it's been 30 plus years.
30 years and still adding more.
31 years. 31 years of databasing, guys, at your fingertips for free. What an amazing contribution to the craft, right? What an amazing contribution. That is amazing. Yeah. So then, let's talk about today's Witch magazine. Tell us about that.
Well, because of the Witch-Tanica Encyclopedia, and the reason we call it the Encyclopedia Witch-Tanica or the Witch-Tanica Compendium was because my student teased me, by the way. They said I was an encyclopedia of witchcraft. I should write the Encyclopedia Witch-Tanica. So I did the website instead.
Easier to update, that's for sure.
And anyway, so the whole concept was behind the magazine. I was thinking to myself, well, how am I going to get all this? I can't write a book on it because the book would be a volume of books, not just one book.
It'd be very thick. Yeah.
So how am I going to get this out to the public and all this information out to the public other than through my website? I got it. I'll do the only monthly magazine in the pagan community that's in print. We have, so that's the formation of today's Witch magazine, which that's our current, one of our current covers. There's 2 covers for that issue, by the way. That's July's issue. And there's a special edition cover with an eagle and a pentacle. The coexist symbol is not on there though. I have my own reason for that. But generally, the magazine started off as a 40-page magazine. It's now 70 pages. And it's like a guide for every type of religion there is. I mean, theology, anybody's welcome to write for it. We accept any submissions. And if you want to submit, you can submit to editor@todayswitch.net.
Okay.
And 1,000 to 3,000 words articles.
So there you go. Editor@todayswitch.net.
Yep. Anything on a metaphysical, spiritual, anything like topic like that, feel free to write for us. The fact is, we currently have, and I told you I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it now. A call to pagans all. We're looking for writers right now to write for us. Tell us your story. Tell us how you got into the craft, how long you've been practicing the craft, what your gods, goddesses are, whatever you want to tell us about yourselves and your story. Feel free to contact us. Tell us your story, and we'll be happy to publish it in our magazine.
There you go. You heard it here first. The call has gone out. So Edward is donating a free digital copy of today's Witch magazine for the Arcane Treasures giveaway at the end of the show. If you want to enter that drawing, all you have to do is type hashtag today. It's scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen. Hashtag today into the YouTube comments now to enter the giveaway. Do it now to enter, and we will run the actual giveaway at the end of the show. Again, hashtag today. Enter now. Also, remember, I'm just another friendly poke. This is an interactive show, so type your questions into the chat. Galena's saving them for the end of the interview so that we can ask Edward all of your questions as well. So now tell us about Pagans Against Trafficking.
Oh, okay. This is something that we've informed. We are forming right now. We still have to get our 501c3. We're working on that. But it's a new organization that we're starting to form called Pagans Against Trafficking. And the whole concept behind it is there's been an outbreak of, sex trafficking and everything within a community, both within and without our community as well. Within and without.
Mm-hmm.
We as pagans need to unite and stop and let people know that we do not tolerate this type of behavior whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
It goes against our very traditions, our very beliefs, our very structures and foundations. So as pagans, we need to, if we want to fight for something, let's fight for that. Let's get it. Let's, stand up and make a stand. Stand pat.
Stand pat. Ah, I get it. Pagans Against Trafficking. Pat. Stand pat. I like it. It's very important. There's a lot of craziness that happens in the world, and it's all underground, and we never see it. We don't hear about it. People just disappear.
A lot of it's come to light, though, because of the P. Diddy case, the Epstein case.
That's true.
And several other churches and communities that we found, that you could say the Mormons with the with the FLDS, Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, and things like that. There's all sorts of ways that we can step up and be forward. We have plenty of people in our community who are doctors, we're lawyers, we're professional psychiatrists, psychologists. Pagans come from any walk of life. Well, let's start as pagans to use our tools to help others who are victims in this thing, and let's start working towards helping each other. There'll be more information as Pat comes into formation. We're still working hard on it. So as soon as we get it into actual formation, our 501c3 established and everything, we will be giving more information on Pat.
All right. Well, we might have to have you back on in the future to talk about that again once you get it going. So I heard, well, I didn't hear, you told me that you finished a couple of books recently. So let's talk about the ritual workbook first.
Okay, 219 pages of workbook that will allow people to actually, unfortunately, I don't have any copies with me to show you what's inside right now because I end up giving my copies away. But inside there would be worksheets that you can actually fill in yourself about your rituals, as well as correspondence tables you can use to establish and develop your ritual. Ritual practices are very important in our community, within our practices. We use ritual and symbolism to build the energy and raise cones of power and so forth that we need in order to manifest the desires and effective magics that we use. Well, the ritual workbook is a way to do a tool to do that. It's got everything for full moon, new moon, SBAT, all Sabbaths, The rites of all 6 rites of passages are in there, and general SBATs are in there.
So let me understand. Is it actual rituals that are already written, or is it like guidelines on how to write your own rituals?
It's a guideline on how to write your own, and it's a blank sheet. It's blank sheets that you can actually sit there and write your own information in. I suggest writing them in pencil so you can erase them in the future, unless you want to buy another copy of the book each time every year. But which I don't mind either way. But inside the book itself, it will allow you to look back on what your rituals were too and how they were performed. In some of the worksheets, there are several mentions in the worksheets on. One moment, I'm going to pull up my. Bear with me. I'm just going to try to pull up my ritual workbook here. There are several worksheets in there, that things on the worksheet, like who did what quarter, what was the chant.
Like a journal.
It's a journal, exactly. It is a journal on who did what quarter, what chant, what time of day, what the astrological position was of the moon or whatever. It's all in there for you, and it's also got about 36 different correspondence tables in it.
So that's very important for those that are just getting into ritual magic and doing their own spell work. Part of the training within my coven is you have to keep a magical journal. If you write down when you did the spell, when you did the ritual, what was involved, who did what the time of day was, what the lunar phase was, what season you're in, what the weather was like when you did this spell work. And over time, if you look at the journal, we're talking years here, you'll start to notice patterns. And that is going to bespeak to you what your strengths in magic are and what your specialties are. Working your own flavor of your own magic.
And this ritual workbook is the same thing as you're talking about. It actually provides you that guideline. It gives you all that extra.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And then you have another book, The Magical Correspondences.
Okay, 319 pages of nothing but correspondence tables.
Wow.
I had what I did is I went on my website and looked up all my correspondence tables and cross-referenced them and turned around and said, holy shit, I have 219 correspondence tables in there. So I decided, well, make a book. This,
there you go.
This as a companion to that ritual workbook.
Sure.
Would be a total absolute do-all, know-all, be-all together, because of the fact that, there won't be a single ritual you can't perform or know with both books combined. You want to know what day, time of year, like what the correspondences are for May are? You open up the monthly correspondence in the correspondence tables, and you'll find all the correspondence for that month.
It's amazing. The amount of databasing you've done. So what are you working on now?
Oh, currently working on the Magick of Tarot.
Okay.
A 393-page book on tarot cards, on reading tarot, understanding the tarot. We use the Rider-Waite as our sample in it because the Rider-Waite is the most known and the most symbolic. And it has everything from the symbolism and the meanings in the tarot in the book to the Fool's Journey, which is the story of the tarot from the perspective of the major arcana, to tarot correspondences with the Kabbalah.
Yep.
A bit of everything in there, and there are 60 tarot spreads and 30 tarot spells in that book.
Wow.
That book will be done in August.
So the third book's on the way.
Be done
And
in
of
August.
course, you're working still on the magazine.
Yep. Every month we
And
put the out.
Pagan Rights Coalition as well.
Yep. I'm constantly working on my website and updating that. Like one of my current updates on the website is I'm doing the whole prose and poetic Edda and translating it into the Icelandic and then the original Norse.
Wow, that's cool. My neighbor's Icelandic.
And then translated to Norse runes.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
I'll be putting that into I'm talking the full prose Edda and poetic Edda too, not just the Havamal
Wow.
or the Volupsa. I'm talking to the Havamal and all the rest of all 23 different sections.
Wow. All right, guys, this is your last warning to type your questions into the chat. Galena's covering the chat, and we're getting closer and closer to that question and answer session. But before we do, if you'd like to explore the enchanting world of Edward and discover even more of his magical offerings, you can always find him at todayswitch.net, which is the website for the magazine as well, and his Cover Bridged Press publishing company.
By the way, just to let you know, on Cover Bridge Press, we publish all genres of books. Not just the only thing we do not publish is we don't publish pornography, and we don't publish hate, and we don't publish erotica. Anything else, if you're a writer and you want to get published, we do publish you. We charge a minimal fee for publishing, and from up to 99 pages is a flat fee of $450, and that covers your ISBN number, it covers your copyright, it covers full editing from us, and also a list of 10 of your books for free, your first 10 books, and it also covers your a full listing of all the metaphysical shops, crystal shops, other shops, the book shops that you need to get your books into. A full database of them, and libraries too.
It's not a bad deal, especially including editor.
And for 100 plus pages, it's $650 with those same benefits.
Nice. Nice. Okay, let's bring Galena back on and see if we have any questions. Welcome back.
Well, I'm sad to inform there's only one kind of question.
Okay, go ahead.
And Lady Silver Willow Sage, she says, is it showing? Yeah. I need the right place to put things that I've been writing. Are these links pinned? I'm not sure.
The links pinned. I will make sure that they get put into the description of the YouTube video replay. So just look in, go to the description. I know I have some of the links already there, but I'll make sure that the links to the other websites are there as well.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to publish children's magical books at 25 pages. I'm reading the chats too, so.
Okay.
And I can do that for, again, around $450 because of the fact that because I have to cover the copyright and the ISBN number. But yeah, I can publish those.
Well, there you go. I'm glad we could help you guys out to meet.
And you can find my information on todayswitch.net, by the way. So you can, if you go on todayswitch.net, you will find the information on there on how to get a hold of me. And I do have my phone number attached to it and everything else. So
Cool. Have you clicked that karma button yet? Give us a like. High five that subscribe button and tap the bell for a better chance at winning the arcane treasures, which is coming right up. But first, don't go away. We'll be right back and have a little bit of fun with Edward after this short sponsor break.
Are you ready to elevate your brand and connect with a dynamic and growing community? We invite pagan-minded businesses and services to sponsor our live YouTube show, where your brand can shine. Visit alexianmusic.com/sponsor to explore this exciting opportunity. Imagine your logo taking center stage, just like our other esteemed sponsors. Join us in celebrating our shared passions and reach a dedicated audience. We can't wait to welcome you on board. Our sponsors for today's show are... Have you heard of paganmusic.com? It's a site run by Alexian and his husband Victor, who have been championing pagan music for over 30 years. They founded Earth Tone Studios in 1993 and took their support online in 1997 at paganmusic.com. They're now liquidating their stock, and some items have turned into rare collector's pieces. After the liquidation, they plan to evolve paganmusic.com into a resource hub, continuing their dedication to all pagan recording artists. Today, paganmusic.com is excited to donate a $25 cart checkout coupon for the Arcane Treasures giveaway at the end of the show. We hope it brings the winner some joyous pagan shopping. Today's show is also proudly sponsored by Alexian's official website as pagan recording artist, alexianmusic.com, where you can explore a world of pagan music and artistry. At alexianmusic.com, you'll discover a treasure trove of resources, including music recordings, online courses, as well as the Cool Cats community. Join him for bonfire bardic circles, magical spells, recipes, rituals, daily tarot videos, spiritual discussions, pentacle parties, songwriting classes, book swaps, meditations, and so much more. Be part of the fun and enrich your spiritual journey. Today, Alexian is offering a complimentary Rooted Kitten ongoing membership to the Coven of Cool Cats in the giveaway. This $4 per month membership grants you access to his vibrant and growing community. Alexian is also including a limited edition Alexian Show fridge magnet up for grabs during the Arcane Treasures giveaway at the end of the show. Don't miss your chance to snag this unique collectible and be part of the Alexian adventure. Our sponsors funded today's show, covering equipment, streaming software, and staff. Please support them as they support us. And now let's get back to the show.
Okay, it's time for the rapid fire questions. Let me get this set up because when my computer went haywire earlier, it actually kicked this off. So I have to reload the file. Just a hot second. Okay, I think I'm almost ready. All right, so I don't know if you know what you're in for right now, Edward, but I'm going to give you 3 questions, and they're off the wall, silly questions. Some of them are more serious, but most of them are fun. And just jot down a simple answer. And after the timer runs out, we'll go through the questions again and get your full answers. Okay? So here we go. Question number 1. What is one misconception people often have about you? What is one misconception that people often have about you? All right, question number 2. What's the most interesting place you've ever visited and why? Why is it interesting? What's the most interesting place you've ever visited and why is it interesting? All right, last question. Imagine your shoes came to life and told your story. What would your shoes say about you? Imagine your shoes came to life and told your story. What would they say about you? Time's up. All right. Question number 1. What is one misconception people often have about you?
That I'm easygoing.
That you're easygoing? You're not?
By far, I'm not.
Are
I'm considered one of the most hard-ass people there are when it comes to the craft, especially. And I'm easygoing with the craft too. I'm not by any way, shape, or form. I take this craft very, very, very seriously and
I
very
see what you mean. Yes, absolutely.
stoic about it. In fact, because of that, this is not something I do. It's something I am.
It's a very good way to put it. Absolutely. You know, a lot of people see me and they think that I'm just trying to get famous or something. That's not what I do this for. I don't need the money. In fact, I don't make money from this, to tell you the truth. I do not make a cent from this. In fact, I pay thousands of dollars every year to host this show. That's the truth. My goal is to get the message out.
So as a teacher and a high priest, I am not easygoing. I mean, if people that come to me with craft practices, be prepared to work your ass off to get the answer.
Yeah.
As I said earlier today to you and Galena, right? Take the L out of learn.
Mm-hmm. And you're left with earn. Yep. Yeah, our dedicants and our initiates have to work very hard for multiple years to get the training that they have to earn where they are in the craft today. And that's not an elitist, that's not a gatekeeping thing. That is a guidance thing.
I'm a gatekeeper with pride.
You're a gatekeeper with pride.
I wear that title with pride because the fact that bottom line is, yes, it is. It does take years. This year and a day, if you come into a coven or a craft that says a year and a day, and they can make you a high priest in 3 years and 3 days, run, don't walk.
It never happens that fast, ever.
Because they're full of shit as a stopped up sewer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, I'm going to be blunt about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I am. I'm blunt. I'm a Capricorn. Excuse me, I'm blunt.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, the year and a day thing, as you see in the books, what that means is it's how long it takes to become a seeker to initiate. And it's the amount of time minimum required for you to first enter into the craft and into a potential coven to see if you can fit in. The only other time a year and a day applies is in hand fasting, and then you're up for review for a hand parting.
Mm-hmm.
If you're told anything else about a year and a day, or you can be a high priest in 3 years and 3 days, like I said, run, don't walk.
Yeah. Well, we're talking from the Alexandrian craft point of view, of course.
Yeah. All tradition, actually.
Well, not all traditions. Not all traditions.
All traditions are valid either. That's
we don't say that on this show. I accept everybody for who they are.
I'm a traditionalist, like you said earlier.
You are a traditionalist. I am a traditionalist. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, you know, I'm coming from the second oldest Wiccan tradition known. Mm-hmm. You and I both know that, you know, there is a set of guidelines to follow, and there's a reason for doing it.
There is a reason. Yes. Absolutely agree. All right. Question number 2. What's the most interesting place you've ever visited and
Guam,
why?
USA.
I'm sorry?
Guam, USA.
Okay.
The island of Guam.
Tell us.
Well, my father was stationed there back in 1983 to 1985, 86, somewhere around there. And we were stationed on Guam, and there are a lot of neat things out there, like giant praying mantises. Orchids are a weed, a glorified weed out there.
Be still my heart.
We used to mow them down with hedge trimmers and lawnmowers.
Kill me now.
Because
Kill me.
they overgrow there. Everything overgrows. There are snail crossing signs on Guam
Yeah.
because there's an African snail. The African snail, actually, there's snail crossing signs. You literally have snail crossing.
Yeah, they're big. They're big.
They will puncture your tires.
Yep.
Termites on Guam will eat your car.
Wow.
So don't bring a fiberglass car to Guam.
Wow. Wow. The reason I had such a dramatic reaction to the orchids is I'm an orchid collector. For those that follow me in my community and on Facebook, they'll see pictures of the orchid flowers that I grow all the time. I give people advice all the time about orchids.
Being on Guam, they're a glorified weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're an invasive species on Guam.
I have a couple that are like that here on my porch. They're invasive. I'm like, okay. Third question. Imagine your shoes came to life and told your story. What would they say about you?
That is a pain in the ass.
You're a PETA.
A big time PETA. No, they would say that because I've lived a long life. For the last 57 years of my life, I grew up in the military, raised all over the country, Guam, England. I loved England, by the way. England was another very interesting place I spent most of my childhood in.
We loved England and Ireland. Can't wait to go back.
I wish I could go back there and stay there. Because England was I had visited Stonehenge, I visited the White Horse of Uffington, I was in Nottingham. I lived near Uffington, actually. I lived in West Hendred when I was in England.
Yeah, we went there too.
I was in Didcot in West Hendred in Oxfordshire County
Okay.
in England, so that's where I spent my time. Even named a pub called The Hare out there because we saw the wild hare, and a guy who just bought the pub asked what to call the pub, and we said, "How about The Hare?"
Why not? Why not? Okay. Well, those were really interesting answers, Mr. PETA. But I'm going to bring Galena back on now. And so the viewers and ourselves want to know, we're curious, how did you get excommunicated from the Catholic Church by the Pope? How did that go down?
1985.
Okay.
Probably be 85. Pope John Paul was visiting Guam. Now, at the time, military brats were not allowed in public schools because of the fact they were trying to keep us outside of the public community. So they had military base, they had a Catholic school. Well, so I was educated in a Catholic school. Well, being that I was a student of all religions at that time, at the age of 13 years old, I studied everything. I didn't hesitate to study. That's why I've been a theologer all my, for as long as I have been in theology and theosophy. And when he came to visit Guam, he gave us an audience. So I got an audience with the Pope.
Wow.
The first thing I said to him was that the Catholic Church says that they follow the 10 Commandments. The Catholic Church broke all 10 Commandments, and I started citing example. The church as a whole. I said the term virgin in the Bible did not mean unwet, untouched by the hand of man. It meant unwed. And at the time, Joseph and Mary had traveled from thing. They actually did not exchange the wedding cup. They didn't get said they were betrothed and never exchanged their vows. And she was pregnant on her journey. Next thing I said to him was, if something divine could never enter the gates of hell. If that's the case, then how did Jesus enter the gates of hell?
Wow.
Needless to say, after that, I got excommunicated. I wasn't even confirmed yet.
Wow. You weren't even started, and you were out.
And I thanked him, and I ended up having to go to a public school. I was the only military brat in the public school. Magickal Elementary School, actually, was the name of the school.
Well, you lived up to your name as PETA back then too, I guess.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, the moment you've been waiting for has finally arrived. It's time for that Arcane Treasures giveaway. Just type #today in the YouTube comments to enter. It's going to scroll down below as soon as Galena hits the button. There it is. #today. But before we draw, it's your last chance for karma points. Spank that like button, subscribe, and poke the bell. All right. I'm going to bring that clock back on. Galena's going to tell you what you got up for grab. And you got 1 minute to type #today into the comments. Here we go.
Someone is about to win a free digital copy of today's Witch magazine, a $25 cart coupon for paganmusic.com, a free ongoing membership to Alexian's Cool Cats community, and an Alexian Show limited edition fridge magnet. To enter to win, just type #today into the YouTube chat.
There you go. I see the entries coming in. We have 9 people watching currently, and we have 4 people that have entered. That means 5 of them are not paying attention. So, don't be shy. Enter your name to win all of these goodies, including being a part of my community for free. And it's not the free account, it's the paid account for free. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now I have to share this screen because that was also taken away earlier. So now I switch this to this and turn that off. And there we go. There's the draw screen. Are we ready? Oh, we got 5. Somebody sneaked in at the last second. Here we go. Good luck. Hey, Freddie!
Hey, Freddie!
Freddie is our winner. Congrats to Freddie for winning the Arcane Treasures giveaway. Please email me directly at lordalexian@gmail.com to claim your treasures. I want to express a heartfelt thank you to my guest, Edward, today. Edward, thank you so much for joining us and making the show special. And to our viewers, if you've missed our previous episodes, you can catch the replays, so be sure to check them out. Draken and I will be back next month for episode 18 with Brian Hinkey, Pagan Musician. Have a wonderful, fabulous day, and we'll see you next month. Bye!
Bye!